Govinda, Hari Krishna, Taram Bhajami, Govinda, Hari Krishna, Taram Bhajami, Govinda, Hari Krishna, Taram Bhajami. Vedam Kanvam Paravindadayana Bharavatam Samasitam Purasundaram Anvartanotitamaniya Nityatatsuva Govinda Hari Govinda, Hari Krishna, Ram Bhajami. Govinda, Hari Krishna, Ram Bhajami. Ananiya Samasamayam, Priya Priti Manti. Vashanti Pam Ikayanti Viranti Anandati Maya Sadhu Jayati Prahasa Govinda Hari Krishna Namah Bhajami Govinda Hari Krishna, Namah Bhajami, Govinda, Hari Krishna, Namah Bhajami, Govinda, Hari Krishna, Namah Bhajami, Govinda, Hari Krishna.
Association of the suffering, and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is that my consciousness purified by the word emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic dream emanates. By ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is an ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us a shade of your lotus feet. May your fame be spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Today. There won't be a mic, I think, so if you want to hear, be close. Jaya Ram
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayana Namaskritya.
Narayana Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudire.
Tato Jayamudire.
Nasta Prayesha Bhadreshu.
Nastareshu Bhaveshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishti.
Shma Bhagavatam, second canto, answers by citing the Lord's version, text 20. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Tvayaham. Tushita. Samyak. Veda. Garbha. Sisrikshaya. Chiram. Britena. Tapasa. Dushtosha. Bhuta. Yoginam. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. You also want to read? Because there's not everyone has got the book. Or just go to word by word. Yeah? Thank you. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. The old beautiful personality of Godhead said, Tvaya, by you, Aham, I am, Toshitaha, pleased, Samyak, complete, Vedagarbha, impregnated with the Veda, Sisrikshaya, for creating, Chiram, for a long time, Britena, accumulated, Tapasa, by penance, Dushtoshaha, very hard to please, Kuta Yogina, for the pseudo mystics. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The beautiful personality of God addressed Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance, with the desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo-mystics. Please repeat. The beautiful personality of Godhead addressed Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penances, with the desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo-mystics. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are two kinds of penance. One for sense gratification and the other for self-realization. There are many pseudo-mystics who undergo severe penances for their own satisfaction. And there are others who undergo severe penances for the satisfaction of the senses of the Lord. For example, The penances undertaken to discover nuclear weapons will never satisfy the Lord, because such a penance is never satisfactory. By nature's own way, everyone has to meet death, and if such a process of death is accelerated by anyone's penances, there is no satisfaction for the Lord. The Lord wants every one of his part and parcels to attain eternal life and bliss by coming home to Godhead. And the whole material creation is meant for that objective. Brahma underwent severe penances for that purpose, namely to regulate the process of creation so that the Lord might be satisfied. Therefore, the Lord was very much pleased with him, and for this Brahma was impregnated with Vedic knowledge. The ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge is to know the Lord and not to minimize the knowledge for any other purposes. Those who do not utilize Vedic knowledge for that purpose are known as Kuta yogis or pseudo-transcendentalists who spoil their lives with ulterior motives. So this is the end of Prabhupada's purport. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate virim yatripatamaham pande shiguru dinataranam paramanandram madhavam chaitanya ishwaram namam vishnupadaya krishna prestaya bhutale shrimate bhakti vedanta swami niti namne namaste saraswati deve gauravani pracharine nirvishesha shunyavadi pashya deshatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama So interesting here, all this verse 20 mention the beautiful personality of Godhead, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So, like, and the name is Shama Sundara, and so many names of the Lord. In this particular verse, he speaks with one of the first, the Adideva Brahma, that in the Vaishnava Sampradaya, like Gora, Madhva Gora, Vaishnava Sampradaya, Brahma Gora, Vaishnava, Brahma Gora Sampradaya, that Lord Brahma is the first spiritual master after taking knowledge from the Supreme Personality of God Himself. Tene Brahma Hridaya Rikavaye Moyanti Rasuraya. So directly Krishna spoke and revealed this knowledge to Lord Brahma, and that is the Vedic knowledge. After Lord Brahma made a penance for many years, just like, as we know, is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, that Brahma he didn't know what is his origin, so he went to find out, but he didn't get, he didn't get anything, he didn't know what was his origin, so he heard the words and the sound, tapa, this is mean tapasya. So he took it seriously and sincerely, and for a long time he was meditating. And then the Lord revealed to him the knowledge how to create. in another instance, is also mentioned in Bhagavatam, that Lord Brahma was a little afraid that he may be overcome by, let's say, thinking that he will be the doer. And so Krishna was pacifying him, and then he shook his hand, telling that not to worry about, his service of creating, because he was directly protected by the Supreme Lord. So, like in the 4 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, one of them is the Shansatata Yuktanam Vachatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Bhuti Yogantam Yena Mam Poyamite. To those who are worshipping me or serving me with devotion, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So it is just like a link. Of course, there must be a personal endeavor, no? And then, the Lord will reveal, and then, of course, we have to make the effort, determination. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityasaha tasyam sulabha parta nityayutasya yogina. This is the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse 14. Ananya cheta, this constant, the mind is so absorbed in the Lord, continuously, to remember Him, and in this way, He will be easily obtained. Tasyam sulabha parta, nitya yuktasya yoga. That is, the real yogi is having this connection of intense absorption and concentration in the Supreme Lord. Like, Krishna was asking Arjuna to fight, but in the beginning there was some doubts that Arjuna was facing, would not be able to go through this big test of Kurukshetra. But the Lord assured him that, don't worry, you surrender to me, then I will take care of all the reaction. You don't have to worry. Of course, Krishna is very personal. He's giving the chance to decide, he's giving the independence, the freedom. And that doesn't touch Krishna out of love. Krishna doesn't touch that freedom, because that is a relationship. One has to manifest what he likes to do for the Lord. It's not that of course, Krishna is doing everything, he's the supreme controller, Ishvara Brahma Krishna, Satchidananda Viga, Anadira Govinda, Sarva Karma Karnam. At the same time, we can choose. We can choose either to serve Krishna or to serve Maya. Now, there is no alternative in this, choice, in this freedom, in this one way serve the Lord. But for that service, there is variety of different revelation. And the Lord is pleased to reveal the path of perfection. The Lord is, just like you say, there is a Bhagavad Gita saying that, that he is not partial to anyone, but one who serves me with devotion. Then I will manifest, I will reward him. I will reward him. This verse, Ananya, no, there's another one. There's one verse that to those who surrender to me, I will maintain what they have, and I keep what they need. This type of relation the Lord manifests with those who are sincere, those who are serious. And in this connection, how much fortunate is Lord Brahma to have the chance, the the privilege to speak directly with Krishna and to hear what the Lord he wants to do with him. No? Then Brahma will create this universe, just like we remember the story is mentioned in the teaching of Lord Chaitanya, that one time Lord Brahma wanted to speak with Krishna, and then he went to his palace, and the doorkeeper came, and Brahma said, I want to speak with Krishna. He said, okay, wait here, I'll ask. And then the doorkeeper went to Krishna, and he asked Krishna, there is Brahma who want to speak with you. And then the Krishna said to him, which Brahma is this? and then the doorkeeper repeated to Brahma and said, the Lord asked, which Brahma you are? And he was surprised, because I was thinking he was the only one. So he said that four-head Brahma, the creator of this universe. And the doorkeeper went back to say, this four Brahma he want to speak with you. Okay, let him come. So then he said, you come in. Then, Brahma immediately, prostrated himself, gave obeisances, and then he was asking Krishna, I have a doubt that you mentioned whose Brahma I am. There are other Brahma, other than me. Prabhupada smiled, and just in a moment, so many Brahma came with many heads, 8 head, 80 heads, 100 heads, millions head, so many head, and then only Brahma could see those other, expansion. And then Brahma became smaller and smaller and smaller. He realized that actually that the Lord is the supreme. And then I don't have to feel particularly important because of this position, because the Lord is supreme. That's just mentioned in all the verses of the Brahma Samhita. The Lord Brahma glorified Krishna, Govinda Madhipurusha Dhamma Bhajami. And I remember also another pastime in the Krishna book about the Brahma Vimohana Lila, when the Lord Brahma wanted to test Krishna, and then it took away all the calf, all the cowboy, all the cowboy away, and then, when he was sitting, Krishna was sitting with all the boys, was taking food, prasad, we can say lunch, and then all this person disappeared, and then Krishna left and created other gopas, other cows from his energy. And it was surprised because, they were expansion of Krishna. So the mother of the gopas, there was so much affection, more than other time. And the cows, they were so affectionate with the calf, with intense devotion, intense affection. And this was going on for 1 year, constantly. Because Krishna create the cow the same color, the same shape, the same mood, the same, also all the cowboy, the same dress, the same everything, except a replica, like a copy, exact copy of the original one. And this is what's going on. After that, what happened, that Balaram was surprised that all this, he could sense this type of extreme affection, more than normal. And then, Krishna explained about, and if he gave that information that Brahma took away I guess it's like this, I don't remember, but then Krishna explained to Balarama. Then after that, Lord Brahma, he he was surprised because he saw, but then he took away, and then when he turned, 1 year was going by, and everything was, duplicates. Everything was duplicated, so he was surprised. Then he realized Brahma realized that actually this Krishna made this pastime just to teach me his greatness, his power. Just to teach his power, you see. That is that after, of course, then after Brahma made the offer of obeisance here, and he has asked for forgiveness for the mistake of this taking away the calf. Sometimes even a demigod, like Brahma, for example, they want to test Krishna, or like Indra, they also felt a little bit upset because, generally Nanda Maharaj was doing the puja to Lord Indra, and then Krishna, they making all the preparation, they were arranging different items for the starting of the puja. And Krishna was a little boy, 7 years. So he was asking Nanda Maharaj what they are doing. So I just said, Nanda Maharaj, want to make it short, he didn't want to go into details of this puja. And we are doing worship of Lord Indra because that is our, what is called, tradition. It is our tradition that we are worshiping. And then Krishna wanted to know more details what they are doing. Because, and Nanda Maharaj is explaining that Lord Indra is giving rain, so we are very indebted to him. And as Krishna said, but the rain is coming to going everywhere, in the ocean, in the mountain. And there is no need to worship Indra at all. There is no need. So then Krishna made that suggestion. Instead of worshiping Indra, you would just worship the Govardhan. Worship Govardhan. Because they are giving, Govardhan is giving so much. The grass for the cow, the fruits, the trees, and water. So it was giving all the privilege to worship Govardhan, not Indra. So somehow they were attracted by Krishna's instruction and suggestion, and to please him, that they didn't do any puja for sacrifice for Indra, and they just worship Govardhan. They made all the big preparation, the feast of, like the Sunday feast, there were so many different sweet preparations, vegetables and different rice and pakor and sabji and so. And they offered to Govardhan. So when this happened, then Indra became very upset because he was thinking, Krishna is an ordinary person. Why he interrupted the puja, the worship of my, giving the rain? So it was, they have to do the worship. They are indebted to me. That's why they should do it. But this boy, this Krishna, is interrupting. So I will teach a lesson. So he sent the cloud, the Samvartaka, and rain to inundate Vrindavan. But Krishna, because Bhaktavatsala, he is protecting his devotee. So he took the Govardhan as an umbrella to protect everyone around, all the gopas, all the gopis, all the cows, all the calf, to protect from the rain for 1 week. And in this week, they were just looking at Krishna. They was there, so intimate, standing with the little finger, holding the Gordon, and everybody was protected. The rain was flooding. The torrent of rain, but it didn't affect anyone in the Vrindavan area. All the inhabitants, they were protected. Suridan Sarvabhutanam. And then after that, Indra realized that, he became also embarrassed, and he became, he felt guilt that he has to test Krishna, he has to make it, he wanted to do such a horrible thing of flooding Vrindavan. And Krishna taught him a lesson. Also, in connection with this, there is another pastime, I just want to, before I forget, about Markandeya Rishi. We get in 12th canto. He has a very long duration of life, Markandeya Rishi. He was a son of Mrikandeya, there's in the 12th canto. And he was doing for millions of years Sankirtan. He was going in the morning collecting from his Guru Maharaj, morning and evening, for millions of years. And he would give everything to the Lord, to the Guru, but he was not asking for food, and the Guru would call him and take food. Just like when Prabhupada was present here, he was one devotee asking, that, when the disciple, is waiting for food and the Guru is not calling, what should the disciple fast? And Prabhupada said, but I always call you. No, don't have to worry. I always call you. And at one point I was saying, in the beginning Prabhupada used to say, you should eat, as much as you want. And everybody was very happy when you take prasad. Then after that he was telling, now you minimize, and people, and the devotee become a little bit kind of sad, because before, when Prabhupada was telling to take as much, they were happy, but when you took the minimize, they were a little sad. In another particular confidential situation, that Prabhupada one time was with Amsaduta Prabhu, and he was telling, actually our goal is no eating, no sleeping, no mating, no defending. But we don't preach that. But it is our goal. That, zero, like, he gave the example of Raghunath Goswami, who was in the beginning. It is very similar with Narottam Das Thakur pastime. Raghunath Goswami, he was the only son, and the father would always make sure that he will not run away from home, because he knew that he will escape sooner or later. So there was some guard. And he even managed that he should marry. So that he could be even more tied up to stay at home, because he's the only son. So the father was a landlord, very opulent. So he wanted to pass for his son all this responsibility. But Raghunath Goswami was very attached to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he managed so many times to escape it, and he was caught and got back again. And one time really escaped, and he left, but the guard could not find him. And he went to Jagannath Puri to see Lord Chaitanya. And then the father found out that he was in Jagannath, and he was sending every month some amount, money for him, for his maintenance. And he would invite so many sannyasis to take the food together. And Lord Chaitanya was asking to Sarup Damodar, the secretary, what's about, Raghunath, what's about Raghunath? So in the beginning, Chaitanya was also going, Lord Chaitanya was also going for the feast, but after some time, Raghunath was not taking any more money. He said, because he was thinking, just like, I'm just repeating what I was hearing from the lecture, that Raghunath Goswami was thinking, oh, I am renouncing everything, and now I'm taking the money from my family. What type of renunciation is not? Then I don't want any. So he sent them back with the money. Didn't want any more. And then Lord Chaitanya asked, how is maintaining, sir? He's going to the door of the temple and exit for Jagannath Puri, and when the pujari come, they will give you some prasad. So that was going on. Then again, Raghunath changed his style, and Lord Chaitanya asked him, what is Raghunath doing? Oh, now he's no more standing because he was thinking, oh, I'm just waiting to get something, just like a prostitute. He's waiting for some client. So I don't want to do anymore. So he was going to take another type of food. And while food is taken then, he's taking some rejected rice that even the cow will not take. And he's taking only this food. Very nice, very good. That's every time that this called Swarupa Damodar was asking, there was less and less, from the big amount of money than only prasad and mahaprasad and rejected food. Every time was more and more and more and more renunciation, austere. And they say, so he was taking this rejected food. And then he was washing with water, putting some salt, and taking this as a mercy. And then Lord Chaitanya went to meet him in his house. And he said, oh, Raghunath, I heard you're having a feast, but you're not inviting me. Raghunath was a little embarrassed, he didn't answer. And then, he took that. It's not fit for you, he said, actually. Why do you say it's not fit? It's Jagannath Prasad. Why do you say? Just to encourage him. Prabhupada said, just to encourage him. This made me link. We know the story of Sudama Vipra. Sudama Vipra was very renounced, very skinny, very poor. And, his wife wanted to help his husband because even though he has not at all any desire, because Brahmabhuta Prasanatmana Suchati na Suchna Kamishati, Sama Sarveshu Bhutteshu Bhaktila Bhakti Param. When he's in the level of self-realization, he doesn't anchor, he doesn't lament, and then this level of devotion, he can see everyone. He's ever satisfied and see everyone on the same level. And that bhakti begins. That is the reward, the end of the Bhagavad Gita. So that Sudama Vipra was a Brahmin who was satisfied, and he was just concentrating. It was really concentrating on Krishna. He was absorbed in the Lord. But the wife keep asking him, in one sense insisting, you go to Krishna, you go to meet him. And he was not interested in asking anything for the Lord. He was satisfied already. But the wife wanted to help him to make a little more, in a sense, he was requesting to go to Krishna. So Krishna can help you, from his poverty condition. Then at one point, just to satisfy, I was thinking, oh, I got the chance because this is the request, so I'm going to see Krishna. And then, of course, when you go to see the Lord, you have to bring some gift, some offering. And he was not having anything, so he asked for the neighbor to get some cheap price, poor quality. So he took some cloth, he was covering and carrying the stick all the way to Dwarka. And was all thinking of the Lord, absorbed. Then when he arrived there, long time, so he was, walking, and so he was not having, just little dirty in one sense, externally. But when he went to Dwarka, in the palace, they didn't stop him to go through the palace, because he was a Brahmin, so they gave him permission to go. Then he entered, by good fortune, he entered the place where the Rukmini was Rukmini Devi. So when he entered there, Krishna was sitting, and Rukmini was fanning. When the Lord saw Sudama come, he immediately stand up. He approached him and he welcomed him. He just invited him to sit there in his own seat. And then he washed his feet. And then Rukmini was fanning him. And he gave food. He did the arti to him. He gave food. And Sudama was so happy, he didn't ask anything. You said, you brought me something. Krishna asked, you brought me something. You gave me some gift. And Sudama didn't want to lower his head, didn't want to. He was embarrassed to show. Krishna was full of opulence, so much richness. But then Krishna himself snatched that one morsel of food, eat, and he was taking another, but Rukmini stopped. Krishna said, no, he is satisfied because this amount of food it's satisfying everyone. So everyone is blessed now, but just one morsel. And then, Krishna accepted. Then Sudama was satisfied, didn't ask anything. And he went back home, happy to have seen Krishna. On the way home, as you know, of course, I'm telling you what you already knew, there's nothing special thing, but I'm just repeating Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book. And, when he went in this home, he didn't find this broken down place, but he saw a huge palace, a nice, park, and everything so opulent. And he was thinking, oh, maybe I made a mistake, I was this wrong address. But then his wife came, nicely dressed, decorated, everything shining. And then Sudama realized that Krishna is giving this gift, is rewarding me. Krishna's Suridam Sarvabhutana is giving this, palace and everything. And it important, it mentions this, Sudama didn't become confused by all this richness, but he increases devotion. When the Lord sees the devotees advance, he's rewarding, but in a way that the devotee is not becoming intoxicated by wealth and forgetting Krishna. But just like Ambarish Maharaj, he also very opulent. There's so many, intricacies that is linked with the devotee who gave the blessing to the Krishna gave the blessing to the devotee. Like, for example, this Sudama Vipra, Lord Brahma, and also some chastisement, like Indra, got chastised. In one sense, he was realizing that we cannot test Krishna. we are so dependent, like Uddhava was saying in the Bhagavatam, that learned scientists and expert in the spiritual life, they cannot esteem the depth that we have. Even at the span time of Lord Brahma's life, or the millions of years, we cannot repay back the debt that we have with Krishna. Because externally, as manifesting as Acharya, internally as a Paramatma, to help the embodied being so that he can come back to him, to instruct him, to guide him. So this is the mood, how we indebted. There is no way to become free from the debt, the help that we are receiving from the Lord. And when the devotee asks, we are so indebted to you, who's asking to Srila Prabhupada, we are so indebted to how we can repay. Prabhupada said, it's not possible, but you just preach vigorously. Like Prabhupada was preaching vigorously, vigor, energy. And so we are in this position, we are receiving this because of His mercy. It is not that some particular, like we were saying from other devotees were telling, that Prabhupada said, even we are so fallen, the devotees say to Prabhupada, we are so fallen, we are so unqualified, we are coming from such a sinful background, Kali Yuga influences. How we can, or how come that we are, in a sense, in this position, privilege? And Prabhupada said, I have created a good fortune. Now, that's a fact, Srila Prabhupada. By himself, he gave the example how a person, like he was saying in the prayer, I do not know why you have brought me here in this place, and it's so horrible that how is possible that these people will learn, will understand this message of Vasudeva. But you brought me here, you must have some plan, you must have mission, Of course, Prabhupada as a mission. But in the prayer, this is mentioned when he was giving this Markine Bhagavata, this before going down in the body of all this prayer, that you brought me here. You must have some reason that I'm coming here. Otherwise, why am I here? So just like we are traveling, we are going here in Stockholm, or we're going to India, or we're going to different places. We take a plane, 2 hours, 3 hours, or we go to India, 8 hours, 9 hours. Sometimes it's a little boring to sit there for hour and hour, and sometimes we take a bit whatever. If we take some food from the temple or something, just to avoid the other material, food. But once you arrive, it's such a relief after so many hours of traveling. It's such a relief. But we just consider, and Prabhupada for 5 weeks. Like soon we will celebrate that Prabhupada left Kolkata and went to Bombay. Then he took the boat. Sumati Moraji gave the free passage in this Jaladuta steamship. And then Prabhupada got 2 heart attacks in this boat. And then at the end, he was having another one, but Krishna there was a dream that Krishna would take care of his, safety. And then Prabhupada, he gave the 3 volumes of Bhagavatam to Captain Pandya. And Pandya gave $20 for the book. So it was already the Sankirtan inside the ship. Jaladuta. Then he brought some trunk of Bhagavatam, the one which was printed. And in India, he gave, New Delhi, Srila Bahadur Shastri gave one set, and he was looking and smiling and proper gave, and other people, 2 or 3 persons around him. And then he was, if I don't forget, that this is the book for saving the entire human society. No, this Bhagavatam, Nigama Kalpatro Kalitam Idam. And then, so Prabhupada himself, he was teaching to distribute this knowledge, like Lord Brahma, Lord Iskcon is mentioned here, Veda Garva, Veda Garva, Sikshaya, impregnated with the Vedas. So Lord Brahma himself, he gave the Veda, he gave the knowledge to his son, Narada Muni, who gave to Vyasadeva, because Vyasadeva was not satisfied with his, all the writing of the Purana and the Vedas. And then, Narada Muni came and he gave the reason why you are not satisfied, because you didn't describe the pastime of the Lord. So you should describe. And then there is 2 verses, very important verses in the first canto, that those who are Paramahansa, they take pleasure in this scripture, like swan. Other or materialists, there's like crow, were taking pleasure in material scriptures. And then Vyasadeva wrote the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Amala Puran, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite, Paramahansa, for the Paramahansa. And then, of course, this all everything, but just to make this lecture a little bit, some description of personality like Shukadeva Goswami. He was in the womb of his mother for 16 years, and then he didn't want to go out because he was afraid that Maya would catch him. He was a Brahma Rishi. So, in the absolute, in the impersonal absolute truth. But when he heard the Bhagavatam from his father, then he came out and he went straight to meet Parikshit Maharaj. And Vyasadeva, he was calling him, where are you going, where are you going? But there was no answer, he was fixed, just straight to the mission to teach. Parikshit Maharaj was only 1 week time. I recall the situation that Parikshit Maharaj was going to hunt in the forest, and at one point became thirsty. Before that, when he saw that Kali was disturbing or beating the bull, he wanted to immediately go and kill him, because in my kingdom they should not.
We should stop that.
Finish, huh?
5 minutes. Ask us.
5 only. Thank you. Well, then he said that he wanted to kill immediately. Kali surrendered to him, and then he said, please protect me, because I'm a surrendered soul, you are the king. So it's your duty to protect me. He said, but now you're doing this mischief to the, what is called, to the bull, so you should go away from here. You should not be present in this, my kingdom. No? I said, where should I go? Because, there was no sinful activity in his kingdom. It was pure, because King Parikshit was very strong, and he would see that he was following properly the Varnashram Dharma and the pure life. He said, well, where should I go? Everybody is pure here. There is no place I am sinful personified. So then you can go, he gave the four, you should not go where there is meat eating, you should not go where there is lazy sex, you should not go when there is gambling, or no intoxication. So no one is doing this, so where should I go? Then you give another chance, the fifth chance, that where there is gold. Hoarding. Okay. Then the thing Kali did, he entered into the crown, golden crown of Parikshit. That's why when he went to Sanika Rishi Ashram, the sage, the Rishi, was meditating, closed his eyes, was meditating, and he didn't see Parikshit, the king, in his ashram. And so, because Parikshit was having some influence of Kali, he became angry, and he said, because you don't receive me properly, you have a cold reception. So he sold one snake, death, and he put around the neck of the Brahmin, and he left. His son was Risha, the son of Shringi. Thank you. Shringi, he heard from others that, the king came, and then, he cursed 1 week, and then, Parishi went to the sages, and Krishna sent Sukadeva Goswami, and then he started the whole 18 chapter, 18,000 shloka of the Bhagavatam. So I have to stop here. I'm very thankful that you are giving inspiration. Your question? Thank you.
Got two questions.
Two questions.
One, Kali, the personification of Kali, went into the crown of Parikshit Maharaj.
Why?
Not that question, but the gold that was in Krishna's village, for example, they had golden pots, they ate off golden plates.
Yeah.
So, can you explain what the difference there?
Because as Parikshit gave the permission to be where there is gold, so immediately, as it was a vicious, Kali is a vicious nature, so he wanted immediately to disturb the king, and then the king accepted the situation because he could retaliate also with the shrinking, but he took as it was Krishna's mercy, didn't protest.
So is it gold in itself that is intrinsically bad? Because that's, on one level, it's a representative of the goddess of fortune, pure gold.
Yes.
So is it the gold that's intrinsically bad, or is it the mentality around gold?
It is a mentality. It is because of the mentality.
Thank you. The next question I wanted to ask, Lord Brahma. We are all, Prabhupada said at one stage, we were all came into this world as Brahma. So, did we all come in with a desire to create, to be a creative, how do you say, servant as Brahma, with that pure understanding, or, I need to get a little more clarity on that. If we all these Brahmas, there must be every single jiva that's come into this world, did they start off as Brahma? And, what motive did they have?
So if I understand the question, that this Brahma, you could see the other number of Brahma, different head, but by each other they didn't see each other. So there was no big surprise because Krishna with his energy make only one Brahma to see the other, but the other they would just then themselves come to pay obeisances And then when they pay obeisances to Krishna, Krishna said, yes, I just come here, be safe and protect you, the demon will not disturb you, and you continue your service. So then they left. And Brahma felt smaller and smaller and smaller, thinking that he was special because of the forehead, creation of the universe. But Krishna taught him a lesson that there are so many universes, so many Brahma, and this universe is the smaller one. This one only 4 head, and in the other universe, the Brahma with more responsibility, many heads.
So did all of us start off as Brahma and deviate on some level? Oh, we.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. But Maharaj, Vaishnav Prabhu, Ajit, they're leaving at 11 o'clock. And Mother Surabhi and also Vaishnav have a suggestion that the Prabhupada disciples will meet at 9:45 after breakfast in the Panchatattva room just here in the corner of the temple to have a circular concluding discussion before we're headed forever in our different directions, probably, at least during this lifetime.
Just 2 minutes. It's a very beautiful story that links up to his lecture. Just 2 minutes. There was a boy by Tender Sutra. He was focused in Russia. He went to the city of Suzdal. Suzdal is a very Christian city. You know, it's full of monasteries. It's a place of pilgrimage. So he was running around distributing books. No one could take a book. Everybody said, I've been born by this is not our religion. So then he thought, but Prabhupada also he prayed, my dear Lord, why did you bring me here? All day I'm running, there must be some purpose. So I only will now go into this one church and ask Krishna for help. So he came to this church, there was nobody there. But there was a door, they would open this light, he went down there. There was a monk sitting with his black cap on his head, long beard, black dress, and he pushed something under the table. And he said, Father, I've come to you with a good message. I brought these books. He put the books on the table, the priest started chanting. And then he said, you know, he pulled out the Bible the table. He said, I've been reading this book for the last 5 years. I've been praying to Jesus, I've been praying to Prabhupada, I'm praying to Lord Krishna. Please send me these books. I read this book over and over. I said, without knowledge of this book, my mind is, my life is reading. And so he was so happy, he actually bought a whole set of Bhagavatams of him, that Krishna arranged this meeting to give this to this priest. Anybody's interested in the story right here, it's beautiful to tell them again if you want to have it for your own preaching. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
A very quick information that this month, because many of the devotee brothers will be going away. So at the end of the month it will be Bhadra Purnima. It's a very special Bhadra Purnima, the day that Prabhupada took sannyas. Bhadra. And it's also the birthday of Ranga Devi Sudevi on the 8th gopis, or the Ashtasaki gopi. So there is a wonderful invitation in every temple that there is also marathon of distributing Bhagavatam on the Bhadra Purnima full moon. The Sukadeva Goswami was saying that one who distributes Bhagavatam said that the Bhadra Purnima will get the highest perfection and going back to God. And Prabhupada also said. Prabhupada said.
What's the day?
He said that Sukadeva Goswami, if you distribute in the 12th canto of Bhagavatam,
What date?
Date.
the date is the Purnima of this February of September, 1 week after Radhastami. After Radhastami there is Purnima, and then Purnima is Bhadra Purnima. After, the Purnima of September is the day to distribute many Bhagavatam in many languages, Swedish, English, and other language. Thank you.
Antaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Panchatattva ki
Jai.